Hello everyone, welcome back to 10 Minutes with Ms. Campos. Thank you for joining me today. This week we have learned about 3 different types of comprehension questions that help our understanding. And in today's lesson, we will look at a very important strategy that readers use to understand text. It involves using your thoughts with the author's words. We use this strategy in our everyday lives without even knowing it. But sometimes it is difficult to use when we are reading. Watch this lesson closely to learn how to use this strategy when we read. Just like there are different levels of comprehension questions, there are different comprehension strategies. We have visualize, theme, making connections, author's purpose, summarize, plot structure, background knowledge, point of view, figurative language, character analysis, predictions, main idea, questioning, text features, and inferring. In today's lesson, we will focus on making inferences. In our 3 levels of question, making inferences come from beyond the text questions. So to infer is to make an inference. What is an inference? An inference is made using text evidence and your background knowledge. Text evidence is the written language found right within the text. Your background knowledge is using what you know and your thoughts. When you add these two together, you're able to make an inference. This is a comprehension strategy that readers use to help them understand what they read. Text evidence can be found right there in the text. It is the literal meaning of what the author is trying to say. This is not an inference. You must add your background knowledge and what you know to make an inference. So your background knowledge includes your personal experiences. When you add these two together, then you can make an inference. Let's try to make an inference with these examples. Here I have a sentence that says, when he saw the red mark on his paper, his stomach felt sick. What can I infer based on the words the author used? Because his stomach felt sick, something tells me that he is in trouble. It could have been a test that he took that he might have to retake because of a red mark on his paper. And I know that teachers use red marks when they're giving you a grade on your paper. It also tells me that he must have failed his assignment. Could have been a homework or a task. Because his stomach felt sick, this red mark must not be good. Let's take a look at another example. There is a long line at the water fountain. Based on the words the author used, I can infer that people are thirsty, that it must be hot, and that they could be students that came from recess, and there's a long line. You must wait your turn when you're in line. I know that there are water fountains inside a school, but also outside in parks to the public. The author did not use any of these words in the sentence. So I am making an inference based on what I already know. Let's take a look at one more example. When the movie ended, everyone in the theater clapped. So I can infer that they enjoyed the movie, they were pleased with the movie, and that they were cheerful. If I have experience going to a movie theater, I know that at the end of a movie when people clap is because they are happy with the ending or they approved the movie. They would not clap if they did not enjoy the movie. So again, I am making an inference. Now that we have made an inference with just isolated sentences, let's try to make inferences using a passage. Here I have an excerpt from The Lord of the Flies. These are the first few lines that begin the story. Let's take a look closely at this first paragraph. The boy with fair hair lowered himself down the last few feet of rock and began to pick his way toward the lagoon. So I am going to say that this boy must be in the woods of some sort because of the words lagoon and a few feet of rock. Let's continue reading. Though he had taken off his school sweater and trailed it now from one hand, his gray shirt stuck to him and his hair was plastered to his forehead. So I am going to infer that the weather is hot because the author said he took off his school sweater and his hair was plastered to his forehead. These are the exact words the author used, which makes me infer that it is hot. It must be summer. I can also infer that he is a student because of the words school sweater. He's wearing a uniform. The color gray is also a uniform color based on what I know. I can also infer that something must have happened with the student that is in the woods of some sort, walking towards a lagoon, and it is very hot. Because his hair was plastered to his forehead and he took off his school sweater, if I go back, it says that he began to pick his way to the lagoon. I can make another inference and say that he might be going for a drink or bathe in the lagoon. Another way to practice inferences are with riddles. Let's read this riddle. I tickle your feet and toes in the summer days. Kids play with me and create castles. Many creatures live with me but cannot live on land. I am most popular when school is closed. You can surf, ride a boat, and jet ski with me. You can hear me in a conch. As we look at the text evidence in this riddle, there are a few words I can identify. The word summer, castles, surf, boat, jet ski, and conch. Using my background knowledge, based on what I already know, these words all tie to the water. This riddle must be talking about a body of water. Which body of water allows kids play and create castles, tickle our feet and toes, and is very popular when school is closed? If you guessed the beach, you are correct. Based on the words in this text, we can infer we're talking about the beach. Let's try another one. I am second to air these days. If you do not have me, it would be very difficult to get in touch with you. I have all types of things to keep you busy and engaged. You can store your memories with me. I shut down when I run out of energy unless you charge me. You notice the words energy, charge, memories, get in touch, keep you busy and engaged. So what do I know about all of these words that might describe this item? I know things that you charge are electronically. You can store memories in something electronically. And then people can get in touch with you. So that tells me it is a communication device that can help you get in touch with others and has all types of things to keep us busy and engaged. Can be a phone of some sort. So if you're thinking of a smartphone or a cell phone, you are correct. I will leave you with this last riddle. Let's read it together and then you decide, what do you think this might be based on the text evidence the author has? I am the most popular thing in the kitchen. I make sure your food does not go to waste. Without me, it would be very difficult to cook a meal. I have a light of my own and need my own space. I no longer work properly if you place me on my side. What am I? So now that you have learned how to infer, practice inferring with that last riddle. Question what you read and ask yourself, what is the author trying to say? What do you think is happening in the text that the author is not directly telling you? Remember, an inference is not the direct words of the author, but your thoughts and understanding of the text. Make an inference, then back it up with text evidence, just like we did in this lesson. Continue to be awesome readers and check out our next lesson on comprehension strategies. See you next time.